Hi, y'all. Welcome to episode 7 of the Nitty Digits podcast. This is take 2 of episode 2. All of a sudden, my webcam stopped working. Maybe because it said, "You're overworking me and you're not being coherent." So, let's try this again, shall we? It has been a full 2 weeks, so I'm just going to barrel through my usual segments and get to my Stitches South and Atlanta, Georgia stuff. So, let's first do the prize giveaway, and that is the prize giveaway for the, which I can't find it. Oh, it just went in my bed. Sorry. So the people who won, because there were only 2, was Purple Goddess and Iggy Star. So thank you for participating, and you guys get to choose between these 2. Let me know which ones you want and your address, and I'll give them to you. I was hoping for more, but 'tis life. So, 'tis life. All right. What is off the needles? Because I've done a lot of knitting on my vacation. My Monas. Yay! Yippee! Again, this is the Mona pattern from Cookie A's Knit Sock Love. Done on US 1.5s, 2.5 millimeter in the Pigeon Roof Studio original sock base in the color Underworld. And these are very comfy, and I can't wait to wear them fully. I only put them on for a few seconds. And one of the socks I knit all in one day on the ride home. I was at the airport too soon, and then the flight was delayed for an hour and 10 to 15 minutes. A long time. And then I kept knitting on the plane for 4.5, 5 hours. So I don't know which one it was, but one of them got knitted up in almost one day. So, yay! Now what's on the needles, but I have one half off. A-ho, right? And that is, if I can get it. See, I had this already and now it's stuck. It's stuck, I tell you, it's stuck. Oh, is the wedge. Isn't it pretty? So pretty. So pretty indeed. Again, this is the Little Red Bicycle in her snowflake sock base. Colorway is Cherry Blossom. I'm knitting it up on US 1s, 2.25 on my Hiya Sharps. And I finished this actually this morning while catching up on video podcasts. I was about right here, actually, when I was ready. Right around here, actually. Right around here when I was ready for the toe. So, yay! And then I started the cuff this morning, and I'm actually still not up to date on my podcast, so I will have more knitting time if my camera will allow me today. Maybe it's too hot, or I hit a button. But I was in the midway of talking about stitches when it died, so that's why I'm like barreling through. So this is the cuff. I'm ready to do an increase wedge and start the leg. And then while I was on vacation, let me find the thing that dropped. Sorry. I started my Wonder Woman socks that I showed you for my friend. US 1.5, 2.5 millimeters. I was actually supposed to start on true US ones, but I got an Addi Turbos not knowingly, because how the knitting store in Georgia was, they just kind of they had the sizes for you and they just grabbed the one, and anyway, I wasn't going to judge. And I was going to do my favorite vanilla sock pattern, but decided the pulling was just not right, so I'm just going with my own vanilla sock pattern. 64 stitches. Yep. And just knit ribbed and stockinette stitch. And I'm gonna do a heel flap though, and I'm not gonna pick up stitches or anything, just the usual heel flap and whatnot. And this is the No Makers House Gnome base and Wonder Woman. So far, I really like the colors. It's very bright. It's very definitely Wonder Woman. So that or Superman. But it's definitely Wonder Woman in all its glory. So that is what's on the needles. What is on the nails is Revlon Nail Art Expressions. So this is kind of a combo of swatching the new polish that I have and also doing some nail art. It also has a third prong, which is the gold is for a Facebook group called Prayer for Silas. I found this out through a friend of mine from college, and she had posted a picture of her and her daughters wearing gold fingernails, and she said it's for prayers for Silas. And I read up and I talked with my friend also and found out this 4-year-old boy is struggling and unfortunately not winning the battle with cancer. So this is our way of showing awareness about childhood cancer. I'm posting the Facebook website on the show notes, so you can check it out if you want to know more details or if you want to participate. And you just post pictures, show support, raise awareness, because unfortunately childhood cancer is a thing, even though it's sucky. So the nail art that I did, unfortunately my camera's not showing it, I did a line down on the side and on the bottom, and then I put 4 dots. Because to me, so this is Revlon Nail Art Expressions in Vincent Van Gogh. And when I saw this, I really definitely thought of more modern art type, very cubist more than Vincent Expressionist. So I did a nail art like that, and of course I'll post a better picture of it at the end. So some nail swatching for you guys. Some nail swatching and nail art. So, and that's what I'm going to be doing, is I'm either going to be nail swatching, I'll be doing some swatching, or doing nail art, depending on my mood. Or I'll do both, and you'll just have to wait and see. So that's what's on the needles. It's for a good cause. And now, so no book talk, no wish list, because we have tons of things to talk about, like my trip to Georgia and Stitches South. So let me kind of try to talk structurally now that I have a second chance to talk about Georgia. So I flew in Saturday, April 6th. I was definitely ready for a vacation because I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning to get into a shuttle to fly at the buck crack of dawn into Atlanta, Georgia. But it was worth it because I got in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the first thing my friend did was try to see if I could check into my hotel. They weren't ready for me, so she said, well, what do you want to do? It's still early. And I said, let's go to the Gone with the Wind Museum. So we went to the one in Marietta, the Scarlet on the Square, and we got to see tons of fun movie stuff and some memorabilia, some original movie props, some interesting stuff about Margaret Mitchell, that sort of thing. Looked at the gift shop, and we both at the end, when we got out and we both looked at each other, we said, we gotta watch Gone with the Wind now. So then we spent 4 hours trying to find Gone with the Wind, and all of Atlanta you could not find Gone with the Wind until we found it in a movie stop, which there's no movie stops in California. So I'm like, what? Okay. But yeah, 4 hours. We went to Walmart, we went to Target, we went to Best Buy, we went Oh, we went everywhere. And during one of our times of going to Walmart, my friend decided, oh, we should get some supplies. I'm like, yeah, true. So when we got into Walmart, I was told, not told, but I heard from the TFIP forum that Walmart carries these hard candy nail polishes. So guess what I did? Are we not at all surprised? I got this black tie optional, which I promptly used the next day over my Julep Jackie manicure that I did for the trip. And then I got this gummy green, which when my Jackie, so my Jackie lasted a full good week and then it died. And so I put this and then I put this over it and it was a lot of fun. And we actually went to 2 Walmarts. Can you believe that? 2 Walmarts. I don't go to a lot of Walmarts, so that was a lot for me. And I got these. I could have gotten more. And it was only $4, so I'm pretty impressed. So I got that. We finally found Gone with the Wind. Watched it. Collapsed. Sunday we went to where the NCAA Final Four was going on, and they were having a free concert and some carnival, like a Ferris wheel, and we found a place to sit down and we listened to Sting. We got to see and watch and hear Sting, which he was amazing, as always. And then we stayed and we met up with a couple of friends of my friend Leslie, and we got to hang out with them and we were talking and then we listened to Dave Matthews Band. It was like a huge thing. Everyone was waiting to see Dave Matthews Band. Sting was just like, not many people were that interested in Sting, which I don't know. Anyway, but humongous crowd started happening for Dave Matthews Band, and we listened. And I really liked the old stuff they played, but the new stuff just was like, So we decided, okay, well, we have some time. Let's just go to the Ferris wheel, because the Ferris wheel was also free. So we went over, rode it once, and we got to take pictures of downtown Atlanta. It was so pretty. It was very pretty. And once I was done, we're just like, oh, we're kind of done. Let's go. And we headed back to the public transportation, and we collapsed and slept. And then Monday, my friend had to go to work. So that was when I decided to wander around where I was, which was the Marietta/Smyrna area. I checked out the Ulta nearby, decided not to buy any nail polish. Yeah, I was so good, right? I was so good. Got a pedicure, which I did this in the previous version, and I'm going to do it again, even though it was weird. And I know people are going to think I'm weird, but that's fine, because I did. It's an OPI color. And the place that I got it at is Coco Nails. If you're living in Atlanta and you want to check out a new nail salon, they weren't that, I mean, for $25, I got a pretty good pedicure. And it's still lasting after 2 weeks, which most pedicures are. I have a little chip in here on the tips, but it's pretty good. Yes, I know it's weird. Get over it. I'm already cranky because I have to start this all over again. So, that was what I did. And I also, so my old phone was just being weird and funky. I wasn't getting phone calls. I wasn't getting texts. I was just going mad. I was ready to throw my phone across the room and then hit it with a bat and Office Space it to its death. And I've been waiting and waiting for my update, which originally I thought it was April 30th, but it turns out the earliest I could have updated was April 21st, which is tomorrow, right? Well, by Monday, I was just like, I'm on vacation. I shouldn't be yelling at my phone to figure out where I am in the U.S. And it keeps thinking I'm in California when I'm not in California. I'm in Georgia. Like, my friend and I were relying on it to try to find some I forget what. Oh, I think it was Sunday. We're trying to figure out where's a good place to eat or something. I forget what it was, but I finally said, that's it. I'm ready. I'm ready to throw it across the room. And so I told my friend, well, while you're at work, I'll find the closest Verizon store and I'm going to go talk with them. And my friend said, yeah. My friend Leslie said, yeah, you know, you're not that far away from your update. They probably would let you. And so I went there and they wouldn't let me because they didn't have the authority. They said we would gladly do it, but we don't have the authority. But here, call customer service, go for it. So I called customer service and they said, yeah, no, that's a bummer. We'll let you do it. Now, I could have done the normal free phones and just dealt with it, but I already had those. I had one at home, and I was actually really considering downgrading to that old phone and waiting until the April 30th because my phone was just, I wasn't getting text messages. And just being on vacation and just realizing you want to throw your phone across the room is not a normal thing. So this is a lot of my expenses on vacation was the yarn and the new phone and the insurance. You're probably figuring out where I'm going with this, right? Because what phone needs insurance except this one? That's what's been buzzing. I have a lot of things that keep buzzing. It's so pretty. It's mine. With a cover. I had to buy a cover. And that. And then I had to buy Apple Care Plus because I know me. And so, yes, I know the money could have gone to food and to more yarn, but I went to the phone. So I accept it. I didn't have to, but I really felt like I needed to. No, not really. I didn't need to. I wanted to. That's the correct word. So I got an iPhone. They shipped. So what they did, I had to wait a few days. So I ordered it on Monday. Didn't get it until Thursday, but it was worth it. It really was worth it, and this whole entire vacation was worth it. It was worth spending so much money, so much money, and throwing money into things because it was worth it. I needed that vacation so much. Yeah. So that was Monday, and I got, hung out with my friend, ate dinner, whatnot. And then Tuesday, while my friend was at work, I went and got a massage. Did I mention I threw money at things? I threw money at my back. And I got it at Massage Envy, at their local Massage Envy, so it didn't cost, it was like $45, and then I tipped the woman, which I tipped her hopefully very well because she was amazing, and I wish I could take her with me to California and say, please be mine, because it was really good. And it helped my fibro a lot. Like, I was, even with all the sleep and whatnot, I was still in a lot of pain. So getting the massage on Tuesday was just, it's like a weight got lifted and I could really start my vacation. And so it was great, and I was in cloud nine for the rest of the day. So I kind of, I hadn't had coffee in me either, and I've never been without coffee. But the hotel room that I was staying in, even though it was an extended stay America and I had a coffee maker, I didn't have any. It was okay coffee, but it wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't want to make it, so I didn't. And I figured I'm going to do a massage. I don't need to be awake. I think I did fall asleep a little bit, and I'm sorry to the lady that had to hear me snoring. That's why I gave her a good tip. So after that, I was kind of like cloud nine, glazed, and just kind of out of it. So I got back to the hotel room and I decided I'm going to walk to the bus station that was nearby. Got on the bus, got to their public transportation train, which is called MARTA, and rode the rails. Just kind of rode the rails, looked out, and I went. So how their public transportation was, they had the east and west line, and then they had the north and south line. So I went to east and west, and then I got off at 5 Points, and then I went north and south. And I just sat and I looked, and I eventually did get out of the train because I was kind of starting to fall asleep, and I decided, okay, well, I guess I should get out and start actually doing some sightseeing. So I got out at, what was the station? Georgia Tech. And I was able to get myself through the government walk and walk the government buildings and whatnot. And then I found myself in what is called 5 Points, which apparently was a good neighborhood until it wasn't. And you know where you get that spidey sense where you kind of feel like you may want to get yourself to safe ground? That's what I had. And I pulled out my old phone because I didn't have my new phone yet. And I was trying to find how to get to the good safe place, and it wouldn't find me. It kept saying I was in California, and I kept yelling it, "That's why I'm replacing you!" in the middle of the ghetto. So I finally found a MARTA station, got on, decided we're gonna end this Cloud 9 fun, and I got back to the station that I had gotten the bus for, got on the bus, ended back in my hotel room, hung out with my friend until the end collapsed. Wednesday was when Wednesday and Thursday she took the day off. So Wednesday we did our huge sightseeing. We went and had brunch at Highland Bakery and Cafe, which was amazing. Oh my god. I ordered crab cakes Benedict, and then for the next day I got peanut butter French toast. Yes, I did. It was so good. I mean, I bet you it would have been amazing if it was fresh, but even cooked the next day, like slightly warmed up the next day, it was still amazing and worth every penny. And had amazing coffee, so I wasn't without coffee. So for that long, because the bus ride home on Tuesday, I fell asleep. Yeah, that's why Jen needs coffee. So after the brunch, we went to Oakland Cemetery, and it was free, so we got to look around the cemetery. It's very beautiful, very gorgeous cemetery. And we got to read up on the history, and my Leslie downloaded on her iPad this free tour. So there were two tours, and one was the gardens and one was the African American burial grounds. And so we did the African American burial grounds. It was very interesting, very, very interesting, and very enlightening, and just, it was a lot of fun. But by the time we finished that, we were just kind of like, yeah, we don't need to do the garden tours. So we headed back to the front, got to see Margaret Mitchell's grave, wished her good luck. Sorry, that was probably not nice. But anyway, got to see that and just kind of wandered around a little bit more, and then got into the car and said, "Where do you want to go next?" And I said, "Well, let's keep the theme going." So we went to Margaret Mitchell's house, found a parking spot, went into the dump, as she called it, and it was a lot of fun. The unfortunate thing was we bought the ticket, and the woman was like, "You want to catch this tour that's starting?" And we thought she meant the tour that was going into the apartment. But apparently the tour starts on the other side of the apartment, way away. So we actually only got half of the tour until we found that out. And then we're just like, oh, we're just going to tag on to this tour. So we did. We didn't, they didn't care as long as we got most of what we needed. And it was a lot of fun. You learned a lot about Margaret Mitchell. I did not know some of the things that, I mean, I knew a little bit when it was Gone with the Wind's 50th anniversary, and NPR did some interesting showcases on it, and I think also Gone with the Wind, some of the manuscript was being talked about, even though she actually Margaret Mitchell wanted it destroyed, there were still some left over, so that was brought into light. So there were, I knew about that stuff, but I didn't know her personal life, which I really want to get a biography of her now, so I can just learn a lot more, because it was a lot of Gone with the Wind was based on her mother-in-law, her family, her life, and some other stuff. So it was interesting to get the background. I'm the type of person that with a lot of literature, like older literature, I like to know what influenced the author. Because no matter if the writer says I'm not influenced by my life, I'm not influenced by my life, honestly, there has to be something personal that goes into it. So it was interesting to see that. Once we were done with that, we're like, okay, can we afford to do any more museums? And I said, nah, I just want to sit somewhere or be by the pool or something. So she took me to her friend's house and sat by the pool, talked, and went into the hot tub and just hung out. Got some dinner at Willie's. I love Willie's. We went to Willie's at least 6 times. 6 to 7, maybe 8 times. I don't know. I counted the receipts. I only counted 5. My friend swears we went more than that, so. Oh, I love Willie's. So much better than Chipotle. There's none in California, only in Georgia. Yeah, I'd be willing to move to Georgia for that, because it was really good burritos. I know he was influenced by California, but apparently unless you go to a taqueria, which of course taqueria. I'll go to a taqueria, I guess, but not the same. But anyway, well, it is the same. Oh my gosh, I'm going to stop talking. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, we decided we were going to do our dyeing. So my Leslie has done a couple of food dyes on her own, and when we were looking at Stitches South classes, I mentioned, oh, they have a dyeing class. I really want to do that. And she said, you should save your $100, and I will teach you how to do it. And I said, sure. So we designated Thursday as our dyeing day because we had a feeling that it was going to be raining, storms were going to come through, so we figured it may not be a good day to do any sightseeing. So we decided to do that. We decided to dye, and even though it didn't start raining until we went out to dinner, it was still threatening, so we decided better be safe than sorry. So I'll show you my dyeing stuff. So I already had a sock blank from Knit Picks. And so I brought that with me. I put that in my suitcase. And then we did a couple of trips to local knitting stores because she wanted me to get a feel of what they had around there. So there I bought some inexpensive Cascade 220 Bear, very, very neutral colors. And I dyed it this. I meant to do that. I really did. So this is a combination of orange, yellow, and brown. And I kind of just dropped it in the dye pot and squirted the dye in. Instead of putting the dye in there and letting it soak it up, I squirted the dye into the yarn. Let me see. In my other one, I undid it, but I don't feel like undoing it. But there has to be a blue spot. So the pot that I used had a little bit of blue in it. And so it caught some of the blue. I have to take it out. Fine. Well, I better not do that. Last time I put stuff on the thing, it stopped. It stopped the recording. So there you go. You see this? This random spot of blue? Yeah, that's from the dye pop, and I kind of like it. And it actually turned out not to be as much. Just see, it's kind of cool. It's just unique, you know. And I caught the dye. I really did catch the dyeing bug because I really want to do it again. I already, in my mind, I already, sorry, I'm trying to twist this up again. I'm trying to figure out how my friend did it, but she did it. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. But I already am thinking about, why is it not doing it? See, this is why I didn't want to do it the second time. But, oh well. But I'm already thinking of the pots that I have that I can use it with, and I really want to dye a lot more. A lot more. So we'll see. We'll see. I have to wait a little while. So it's not gonna be pretty because I can't seem. So I'm gonna be dyeing for fun. I'm not gonna be doing it for any mercenary type thing because, oh, hey, woohoo, figured it out. I've been trying to figure this out for 2 weeks. I'm not going to do it for any mercenary. I'm not going to start dyeing and selling. I'm just going to do it for fun. Just kind of enjoy it. So, because I love playing with colors now. So, that was fun. And then I did the sock blank. And this was more of a tie-dye. I meant it to be something different, but it is what it is. It's a lot. I really love this blue. And then, so I put violet. I squirted blue, squirted another section of it with violet, and squirted another section of red. And it just wasn't right, so then I just over dyed it with a red, and you can see more of it here. Or you could kind of see it here. So, I mean, I could always knit it up and knit up the socks and decide, oh, I'm going to put more violet and just dye it up again. That's the amazing thing about dyeing. So, I could do that. Or I'll just keep the tie-dye. It's unraveling. So, that's what we did Thursday. Friday, well, and also Thursday, I got my home. And then Friday, my friend had to go back to work, and I decided to head over to the Buckhead area because I heard about the store, the mall over there. So they have 2 malls called Lenox Square and Phipps Square. And I decided to go to the Lenox Square because it was closer to the MARTA station. Walked in there, went into Apple, got my Apple Care Plus, another purchase on my phone, on my credit card. That could have gone to yarn, but it was worth it because I know me. And so let's put the water away from the phone. Again, knowing me, Apple Care Plus. And just kind of wandered around, got to look at stores, and I thought that was the fancier mall, but apparently the Phipps is even more fancy. So I was like, wow, okay. So after that, I was kind of like, I'm done. So I went back onto MARTA, head back to the hotel, and just kind of relaxed because it's my vacation. So I relaxed and I just knit and I hung out until my friend came in, and I changed clothes and we went to the Stitches South pajama party. And that's where I won a lot of things. So I won some earrings. That was the second thing that I won. And that was for having a Namaste bag. It was like a scavenger hunt. So you had to run up to the stage with what you found of what they were talking about. And I had my bag in my hands and I was looking for something when they said, oh, someone has a Namaste bag. And I screamed up because I get overly excited and said, nay! And ran up to the stage, and I got the earrings, which I'll have a picture of that in a special episode. So what I'll be doing is I took a lot of pictures of what I did. So you don't have to keep imagining what I did. I'll have pictures. So that's going to be in a separate episode, in a special episode. So you'll see pictures of that. I also so I also won before that some yarn. So let me show it to you. I won a lot of things that weekend. So I won some Bijou Seraphim, 95% Angora, 5% viscose, and I got 2 of them. And it's upside down. Oops. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty, right? I got so excited. So this was like a deal or no deal type of thing where it's like who make your deal or something like that. So they said, do you want yarn or do you want to do door 1, 2, or 3? And the yarn was just so pretty that I said, yarn. And how I got to go up there was I was the one who had traveled the farthest. Now, someone did travel from Canada, but from Alberta, Canada, and I guess San Francisco, California is much further away from Alberta, Canada. I don't know the geography. Some people may disagree, but I won yarn. They eventually won something else, the person from Alberta, Canada, so I don't feel too bad. And I don't know who was behind me for the Namaste bag, and I don't know, but I do want to say this before I go on to anything else because it's related to my winning stuff. Was at the pajama party, I couldn't believe what happened. So throughout my weekend in Atlanta, I noticed so many amazing things, like people are courteous to you, people are amazingly nice to you. I never had to worry about figuring out where to go or being lost because I could always turn to someone and say, I'm really sorry. Where, how do I get to downtown or blah 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 at the bus station? And the woman that I talked to was extremely nice and said, oh, you need to go this and this, but be careful of this and this. People are willing to talk to you, willing to help you out, smile, even if you don't know the person. If you look them in the eye and just smile at them, they say, hi, how are you doing? Which is my horrible accent. I was so thrilled. When telling Leslie about this later, I'm like, you don't understand. Californians, we are nice, but we're, it's different. You don't look people in the eye. You don't. When you're walking down in San Francisco, you don't look people in the eye. You just go on your merry way, and it's probably the same most of anywhere. But when I was walking through Atlanta, walking down, I could talk to people. I could look at them in the eye and not have them think I'm a freak. And I felt so welcome there until I started going to Stitches South events. And that's not because of the planners. It's not because of the dyers, because I'm still planning to go because I love going there for the dyers. I love the dyers. I love all the people that I always buy from because they're amazing, they're wonderful, they're friendly, they're great. It's the people that go. And I don't understand how knitters can be like this. And maybe at Stitches West, and I see it at Stitches West too, and I just don't understand. It's the same thing of why a lot of people don't like to go to knitting circles, is because there are always women that judge. And I don't know if that's something that just happens in normal day life, but stop judging. It's not your right to judge. It's not. So don't. I shouldn't go to a convention that's supposed to be where my people are and feel unwelcomed. I felt unwelcomed because I'd look at someone and I'd smile, and you know what they would do? They would do this. How is that welcoming? Is it because I got overly excited and ran up to the stage with my Namaste bag and took earrings from you? I didn't mean to. I was always very nice. When someone said you won more than one thing, you should really give something back, I said, here, take it. I don't need it. I was participating. Don't judge me. Don't be mean to me for participating in something. Have fun. This is supposed to be fun. I'm off my soapbox. Because, and the one thing is, my friend Leslie and then Bliss, our friend Bliss came by later on, was sitting at the table. We had 3 people come sit down and then all of a sudden didn't want to sit with us and walked away. It's like we were meat. And that happened at the Scalini's dinner on Saturday. We had a group of people that wanted to sit next to us, and because we refused to move for them because, we were already situated, people didn't want to sit with us. And it's like, why are we cliquey? Anyway, I'm off my soapbox. But anyway. I had fun at the PJ party, even when I just wanted to say, stop judging! Stop being mean! Have fun! Enjoy people! Be there for the people, not for the prizes that you win. I wasn't there to win prizes. I was there to have fun with people that are knitters, like me. And I got that. But anyway. This is what I won. So I won that. And that was Friday. And then Saturday, we went to the marketplace. And I got bunches of yarn. So let me show you what I got. This is your preview. Yes, this is your preview. I forgot to open it. Sorry, I'm kind of scatterbrained. At least this one's a little bit more coherent than the other one. So, let me show you what I got. On Saturday, at least. So Saturday, my first purchase was Fibotama Rainbow. Isn't it pretty? And it sparkles. Can you see the sparkle? See the sparkle. It's sparkly. So excited. And this was going really fast. I forget the dyer's name, but she was saying, dude, it's going by fast. So what she was saying is, I really wanted it, but it was our first round. I didn't want to be the type of person that buys at the first round. I've done that. I've done it. And so it was kind of hemming and hawing, and she's like, you want me to save it for later? I can hold it for you, because it's going by really fast. And I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, all right, I can wait. So I gave it to her. I said, I'll be back. And we walked away. We went past another booth. And Leslie and I were talking about it. And I realized, you know what? I want it. Why wait? So I ran back, said, I want it. I want it really bad. So this was my first purchase. The dyer was, I'm sorry, I forget your name. But she was laughing at me, and she's like, yeah, I know. That's how everyone has been talking about it. So this was really pretty. And unfortunately I couldn't save one from my friend Listy because it was gone by the time I realized I should have saved one for her. Because this would have been hers. This would have totally been hers. This is her colors. But they ran out by the time she came on Sunday, so that was my first purchase. So then I went, well, we did a couple of rounds, looked around, saw what we oohed and on, and said, okay, we'll be back. Okay, we'll be back. So we went to Miss Babs, and I knew I was going to buy something right away. I knew it. Because at Stitches West, she had her color affection sets, and by that time, I knew that I needed them. So I got me a color affection set. And I kept hemming and hawing between different sets. There were so many sets that I really, really wanted, but I decided this was going to be the one for me. So this is the combo of deep sea jellyfish, obsidian, and plum. I just really love the colors. So when I get ready to do my color affection, this will be it. And so the funny thing is I kept going towards things with pink, like this bright neon pink, and there were a lot of neon pinks. There were a lot of neons, which is, I guess, the fashion. Neon is coming back in fashion. So I was just going to purchase this. But then there was one set that I really liked but decided not to go for it because I only really liked one color. And that was this one. This is one of her Halloween colors. And it's Girlfriend. So I really like this one. I really, really liked it a lot. So that's that one. So I only bought 2 from Miss Babs. And then, let's see. That's Sunday. I didn't really organize it. Because at this point I don't care. You love me, right? Sunday. Here you go. So I actually didn't really buy too much on Saturday. But so I was only going to get one skein. So admittedly, if my boss watches this, which I don't think she does, you could have gotten a skein of yarn. Give me a raise and I will buy you a skein of yarn. She doesn't watch this. Yeah. I was kind of, so this is Knitting in Color. Let me first tell you what I'm throwing my hands around with. And there was actually, so I was going to get 3. Actually, no, I was only going to get 2. I was going to get my boss this really pretty, it was a sparkle base. And it was, I forget the name of it, but it was black. It was like a dark, dark blue and a purple. And it actually would have been perfect for her. And her birthday actually is this Sunday. So I was going to get it for her, not just as a, here, give me a raise. Here's a skein of yarn. No, it was for her birthday, but I just kind of hemmed and hawed, and I'm just like, I don't know if I really want to do that. I don't know. Because my boss does knit. She does. And I know she would have used it because it would have been soft enough to make a cowl for her, which what she's been knitting is she's been making cowls and scarves, and it would have been perfect. And she could have worn it with her suit during the winter, not for trial, but just going to work and whatnot. But it's kind of hemmed and hawed, because I had in my hands this. The Knitting Color puppies. I really wanted the puppies. So again, see the pink? See the pink? I really wanted the puppies. But what I really, really wanted was this one. Sunburst. So I was kind of taking this, putting it back, getting the other one. Forget the name of it. It is like a deep blue purple. I was kind of going there, going there, going there, going there. And sorry, I'm probably making you all dizzy. But I had these 2 in my hands. And Leslie's like, get both of them. Because I said, oh, do I want this one? Do I want that one? I want this one. She's like, get both of them. And I said, but boss. She's like, why are you getting your boss a skein of yarn? Like, because she'd probably like it. It's for her birthday. She's like, you deserve more yarn than your boss. I'm like, oh, okay. So I held this in my hand. She's like, but you could get a raise. I'm like, that's what I was thinking. So I grabbed it and put this back. And then I kept going back. I'm like, yeah. And I said, you know what? Probably won't get a raise anyway. Put it back. Got this and said, please buy it before I change my mind. So I got these 2. And even later on Sunday, it was still there. So I kept putting it back, putting it back. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'd rather use the money towards something else. And I also didn't want to freak my boss out. So I didn't buy it. So I got these instead. Anyway, sorry. Trying not to make you all seasick or motion sick. So that is what I got on Saturday. at the marketplace. So we were still waiting for our friend Listy, who was still at work. She got off work. She was hightailing it from Augusta to Atlanta while the Masters was going on. I'm pretty impressed that she got there at the time that she did. She just made it to the Scalini's dinner, which we thought it was at 7:30. They changed it to 6. So, meh. And at Scalini's dinner, you get 2 tickets, 2 of these, carnival tickets, and throughout the time they pick up drawings. Well, guess who won again? My luck was going. For some odd reason, I was on fire. So let me put that out. This girl was on fire. So I got this. Who I wanted to buy from, but I decided not to and wait until Sunday, and now I didn't have to. I got Neighborhood Fibers with the bag and everything. So let me. And I got. Oh, I put some other stuff in there. So. Oh, I was wondering what it smelled. I had so Urban Gypsy had some lavender, orange, and cedar bags. So I got a couple of those from her on Sunday. And some other stuff I got. So I also got some patterns on Sunday. Sorry, I'm getting not organized. So I won. It's really pretty. It is the Rustic Fingering 100% Superwash Merino, and the color is Georgetown, which 2 of my cousins went to Georgetown, and I really love the blue. So I kept it because with it came with a note that said, "Hi, winner. If you don't like the color I picked, feel free to swap it out. Love, Karita." Well, Karita, I love the color, and it fits with my family. So, and family is close to my heart, so I kept it. I really love it. I figure it'll be a nice cowl or something. So, yay! I did not get judgy looks. Corolla. There was this woman named Corolla who was the one that gave me guilt about getting a second prize at Pajama Party, which I thought she was serious. She was actually just kidding, and I ran into her. We ran into her on Sunday, and she said, "Dude, I started laughing when you won that one at Scalini's." I said, "I know, right?" And she's like, "Dude, your luck is just on fire." I'm like, "I know." So, unfortunately, my luck was not that good, and I didn't win the grand prize, which was like $2,500 towards yarn money. So, maybe next year. Or maybe not. It's okay. I mean, I got enough yarn. Shoot. I won a lot of yarn, and then I bought more yarn, because guess what? Sunday, I bought more yarn. I bought more yarn. I thought I was going to be done. No. So Sunday we started immediately at 10, walking. And we went, my friend Listy and my friend Leslie got there a little bit later. We won a pattern, which is really cute. I figure maybe I'll use my bijou, the stuff that I won. So, sorry, I didn't mean to show the whole entire thing. But, so that's one pattern. And then I got this. So I got Gail's art. So every time I passed by Gail's art booth, I kept picking this up. I'm like, "It's so pretty. It's purple and chocolate brown, and it's so soft." It's her shiny Happy Base, and this is called Gray Day. The color is called Gray Day, and it's 50% superwash merino and 50% silk. Oh my god, it's so pretty. It is so pretty, you guys. And I kept picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down. So I ended up buying it on Sunday. because Gail, she's just such a sweet lady. Every year, she's just such a sweet lady, and she's just an amazing woman. She's actually the mentor of Fiber Charmer and Knitting in Color, who were the two people I bought from Saturday. She's just amazing, and I wish I had bought more from her the last few years, because I actually never bought from her until this year. I've always talked her ear off and said, "You're amazing," but I never bought any until now. So, and then it came with a free pattern, so, which I'm going to knit out of this. So, I didn't go willy-nilly and buy everything without any idea. I have some ideas. So, yeah. And then, of course, I always buy from Urban Gypsy because her color theory is just amazing. It's always brilliant. I'm reorganizing my yarn so I can actually find things. She's somewhere in here. Yeah, I can't find her. So, yeah, I'm gonna be, is that it? No, that's not it. Anyway, I can't find her. But this is what I got from her this year. This is Black Cherry in her South American lace yarn. 950 yards. It was amazing. And I kept picking this one up too every day, Saturday and Sunday. And finally, I told Stacy that I was gonna buy from her, and she's like, "I know you buy from me every year." I'm like, "I know." And I love that she remembers me. Not many dyers remember me, which I'm fine with. You meet tons of people. I'm so surprised you can remember me. But she remembered me because the first year I went to Stitches, I took one of her skeins because they caught my eye, and I went over and said, "Ooh, pretty!" Took it up and did this. Because I'm a yarn sniffer. That's who I am. I'm a yarn sniffer. So she told me that this year, and I'm like, "You remembered me!" And she's like, "How could I not remember you?" I'm like, "Oh, I love you." So I love Urban Gypsy. She's doing a lot more fibers, and she had yarn bowls this year to sell, and they were really pretty. But I decided I'm just gonna stick with the cherry. So it's really, I love her depth of color. I haven't knit any of her stuff yet, so I know it will knit well. The color theory is worth it. So yeah, I love it. Yes. So then I got some Zephyllopod. So you notice a theme here, doubles. So my friend Leslie and then Listy. So I told Listy, let me stop doing that. I told Listy about how Leslie was awful and ruined me and made me get 2 skeins of the Knitting in Color. So then Listy, because she's my friend and she loves to pick on me and I am malleable, kept saying, "You need both." So in Zephyllopod, I had these 2 skeins in my hand. And I said, "Which one? This one? This one? This one?" And I also had other ones. I'm like, "Ooh, that's pretty." But you know what? I have a lot of those. Put that back. And Listy's like, "You should get both." And I'm like, "No, we are not going through this again. I am not getting both." She's like, "Why not?" One's a discontinued yarn. This is the green Darner Dragonfly. And this is in the Skinny Bugga, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. This is the Skinny Bugga. They were actually both Skinny Bugga. I got both Skinny Bugga. And this is a discontinued color. And it's actually not a norm. I hadn't gotten a lot of the greens. So I said, "Okay, fine. I'll go with that. And I'll just go with that." And then she's like, "But you really, I mean, this dragonfly tattoo is amazing. Look at the greens. Look at the purples. Like, I see it. I don't need it, though." She's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you don't need it?" As you can see, I thought I needed it. So I bought it. It's not discontinued. No, there was no need for me to buy it. But it's pretty. So, I don't have a, so I have a couple of Sanguine Griffin before they split. And I have some of her lace weight, some of Cephalopod's lace weight in pink. Actually, that is here. See? So I got this at Stitches West when it was being held by another booth. She wasn't there herself. She started Cephalopod about almost a year and a half ago. And so she wasn't ready for doing shows yet. But now she's ready to do shows, and I'm so glad. I got excited when I got this. So, I'm very happy with my purchases now. So, one of the reasons why my credit card is in the freezer now, I can't use it anymore. I got that. Listy! Ooh, I got fiber in my nose. Ooh. Yeah, anyway. And then I knew I was going to get some of this dyer because I got tons of her last year. And I knew I wanted more. So, sorry there's a bug in my room and I need to kill it. Because there will be no bugs in my stash room. It doesn't look like a moth. It looks like one of those flies. Anyway, sorry. Okay. This episode is way too long. Yes it is. So I got some dragonfly fibers. And I got the squishy lace in peach melba. It's close to the color that I kept oohing and awing every day, which was Save the Tatas. But I decided I wanted to do different weights for my two skeins because by that point I'm like, neither Leslie or Listy were gonna help me with with having me have any control. So I figured I was gonna get two. So might as well get one in lace weight, which is squishy. And this was close to the Save the Tatas. Lovely. And I got this one was exactly what I kept picking up too. Was Ode to Sock Summit. And this is the Genie sock. This is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. Isn't that pretty? Gorgeous. So, mine. Let me show this to you. This is 100% merino. So, definitely something shawl-like and not superwash. So, mine. That's it. That's what I got. That was Sunday, and then Listy had to go back to work, so we quickly had dinner with her, and then she drove away, and apparently she hit really bad traffic, because she was supposed to go to a meeting, but she hit really bad traffic from the Masters, and it started to rain, and so she didn't make the meeting anyway, so she didn't have to rush, but yeah. It was hard saying goodbye because I haven't seen her in a year, and I may or may not see her until next April, so yeah. But I gave her a big squishy hug and said I'm so glad I got to see you for as much as I did, and we actually, so when she came in Saturday, we did the Scalini's dinner, we hung out, and then at midnight, Leslie's like, I gotta go, and she left, and both Listy and I were getting ready for bed, and we were sharing the bed that I had, and we just started talking because we hadn't seen each other for a year, and we've done phone calls, we've done Skype now and then, but it just, there was so much that we needed to talk about, and so we just talked, and by 3 o'clock in the morning, we said, oh, we better go to sleep. So Sunday, when she set her alarm for 8 o'clock in the morning, I was ready to sleep and we didn't have to be there exactly at 10, but because this was her one and only day at Stitches and she had such a regimented time, we had to be there at 10. So she woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning after going to bed at 3. So we had some Dunkin' Donuts, which is our tradition. We got some coffee, got some donuts, got some food stuff, and we got there at 10, blah, 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 had dinner. So that was Sunday. And then I hung out with Leslie until, watched some TV, hung out, we knitted a lot. I started my Wonder Woman socks, and then I had to say goodbye to her because she had to go back to work on Monday, and I had to head back to the airport that day. So, yeah, I miss my friends. I miss them. It was just an amazing vacation, and I mean, I have friends here, and I have knitting friends here, and I love them and whatnot, but Leslie and Catherine are just amazing women, and they're just hilarious, and, and Leslie did a lot for me, and, taking me places when she didn't have to. I mean, she was being a tourist in her own town, and it was a lot of fun. It was nice to be around another person again because, being home, living by myself, I go to places, I hang out with people, but most of the time I stay at home with my birds. And, sometimes I can't really afford to go out and hang out with people. And so it was nice to just be at my hotel sometimes and just have her knit, or I wouldn't paint her nails, and we would talk, and it was nice, and it made me feel less lonely. So, yeah, it was good. It was a much needed vacation. Monday I went home, and that's when everything was happening with the Boston Marathon bombs, and Monday was just a crazy time, and then I went back to work Tuesday, and here I am. So, I'll be back next April, and we'll see how it goes. I probably won't take another week, just kind of depending on when it is and whatnot, but I may keep going with like a little bit longer than just a weekend because I need my Georgia time. So, yeah. But I guess that's about it. I mean, I showed you everything. It's an hour and 7 minutes. So, thank you for bearing with me and my jiggling and driving through the usual stuff and listening to me blabber on. If you want to find me on things, you can find me at Twitter at J_crafty_geek. You can find me on Ravelry at Knitterly Book Goddess. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram now as just _craftygeek. And I also have Google Plus, _craftygeek, but I don't really do much there. We also have a Ravelry group, so that's fun, right? That's a lot of fun. Join us. I really want some discussion going, but I guess I don't have enough people, so I'll get more people. So anyway, thank you for listening to me babble, and until next time, have a great nitty day. Bye.
I don't wanna be left behind.